Hey guys, what's up? So, before we start this episode, can we just take a moment to realize the theme that I put onto my 3DS? Like, look at this. This is awesome. But can you hear that pulsing? Oh, yes. Did you hear that? That was Athena Sykes right there. That was amazing. But anyways, hey guys, what's up? Today we are back with another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. In the last episode, we finished off the first investigation, and now we're going on to the trial. So, let's get going. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Skye, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Well, this time we got a Skye helping us. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. I'm gay for you. I love you. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since this trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. Oh, he knows. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to a crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The Cough-Up Queen? Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. Oh, and for you I have a fiesta bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? What? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts! I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well. That sounded really sexual, I'm sorry. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I'm a professional. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr detective? Aha! I know who you are. Cough up? Cough up, Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well, you may continue with the description, Miss Star. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot of the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor's spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drag the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems right to cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on that principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star. Wait, are they talking about me? Good luck, Phoenix. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend, when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching! As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point to your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you stole being stabbed at Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Somehow I always knew a lady like this would come. Alright, let's press that. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? Oh, no. Well, I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. Ooh! The security guard room is in the lot A block. It's up on the 2nd level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a promotion of the murder? Premonition. It felt like, how would you say, oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Me neither. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with the experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Then I must be hard-yellowed and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there, in the lot, I felt something stirring at the back of my mind. By garish car, you mean? Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife of the victim, with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth. Wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. We're dealing with Edgeworth here. I need something more substantial than that. Speaking of, let's just check the things real quick. Why do we have this much stuff? That's fun. Oh wow, okay. Can you tell us what the suspect was doing when you saw her? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Okay. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Isn't that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify to our ability to kill an egg. I mean a person. Killing an egg. Oh god. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to make the strike, note? No? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flash room, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fail to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that! Well, let's press this one. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. I don't know what that word is. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uniformed opinion is duly noted? Okay, I didn't read that. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. If I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro. As you know, my testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue, Miss Starr. I'm afraid... Wait, but the, what in the world? Oh boy, I'm already stuck. This is great. Would she be able to see it from there? Because the, murder happened, like, over there. So she couldn't have... Right? I'm so scared. I'm not even sure if it's on the right statement. No prints? Hold up a second. Hold up a second. If the chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand, then why are there no prints? not only that, but she was... Boy, I don't know. Boy. You serious? That did not go so well indeed. Never mind then. Oh. Okay. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me, I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. Could you try You could try plagiarism? I might be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this most certainly is the defendant. Uh-oh. That is unmistakably Lana Skye. So what was the defendant doing at the time? Damn it. Okay, let's, check that out, because I need to see that. Yeah, but here she's not, really holding anything, so let's try it. What? 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 And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with a knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. Look at this photograph. Look at this photograph. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Skye not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. It was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Ah, yes. It's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Oof. What do I do? I don't know. Let's subject, my boys. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. God, that's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo size line from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Skye was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How would you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Wow! These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, how does your testimony? The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. Yataze! What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves? Like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves, the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to this crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Impressive! I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got them thinking this was all planned. She can prove this claim. The trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. It's only... okay. That it wasn't premeditated? Oh, shoot. Just kind of skip that. Whoopsie doodles. What the heck? Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunchboxes for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgewood's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh! This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon! Order, order, order! Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My stitches has get us free. Edgeworth. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned, not over such a trifling detail. But it shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution needs proof. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you! My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Really now? You're sure about that? Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor held a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. Again and again? Wait, hold up. A single stab! So if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? I mean, that's what some people would do, I think. In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Like, oh, I know this person's a delivery boy. Let's call them over and kill them. I hope I'm not giving anyone ideas. Damn it. Oh, shoot. Yeah, again and again. A human machine? That's a contradiction! Please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright? Note to self, Mr. Edgeworth's sighs smell like citrus. What? How can you smell that all the way from over there? You say again and again. How many times did she stab him exactly? We often say chop into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done? How come she's getting mad at me? Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that. Leave it at that? This is a murder case, people! Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have an objection, you know. Okay, I think I know what they mean. Let's just check this again. Wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife, a single stab wound. Objection! See? You say she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is going under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk! He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed? Poor Phoenix, man. Well, witness? You got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify! Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Her red muffler looked like blood. Hold up a second. There is no muffler, though. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. Well, what? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim, and you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be! Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly careless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Ashford prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there. A scarf. No, not that. But something red, really. Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony just might be the moment of truth. Okay. I think I just might stop this right here. Yeah, alright, this case is really, really hard. It's just as hard as I remember. It's very, very confusing. I just don't understand it. So, yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, please maybe leave a like, maybe leave a comment, and maybe even subscribe. I will see you next time.